In this video, we're going to take a look at the Takara Diaclone DA-95 Land Battleship. We're going to look at the announcements of its being made, the background and history, a first look at the set, and then we'll do a playtest. When Takara originally rebooted Diaclone, I was really excited and all in on it. But after a couple years, there were a lot of repaints and re-releases, and I kind of lost interest in the line and stopped collecting it. It's also pretty expensive. But then when I saw all the pre-release information for this DA-95, I was sucked right back in. What really struck me was the size of this. It was gigantic, way bigger than any of the other, kind of robots or sets that they'd released for Diaclone. And it just looked super detailed and just really, really fun. I think the thing that struck me the most was those turrets on top. It really gave me those kind of Star Blazers Battleship Yamato feels with all the turrets on top. And, when I was a kid, I loved Star Blazers. I have a big collection of Battleship Yamatos, and just the idea of having this in, a Diaclone kind of land battleship just really excited me. And two, you think back to the Megaforce toys. I have a collection of those, and they're just these gigantic rolling kind of fortresses. I love the video game Deserts of Karak, made by the guys who did Homeworld, and they've got these giant, kind of rolling aircraft carriers and fortresses, and DA-95, it just hit all those kind of notes. And then, of course, you've got the mobile command center. And then yet another favorite show of my youth, the Battle of the Planets, or Gatchaman, and just the way that they would load all their little vehicles into the God Phoenix, their main ship. Just has that feel like this Diaclone ship with so many different vehicles, and they're all getting loaded into different spots and stuff. Just awesome stuff. But it also had some Thunderbird vibes. The Diaclones are great because they're vehicles, but they have fully articulated little 1/60th scale figures, and there's tons of stairways and little command posts and seats for all the Diaclone figures to sit in, and that just has that Thunderbirds kind of feel with them loading into their vehicles. And then seeing these pre-production photos, it's just wow, it's amazing. The detail looks beautiful. The artwork's beautiful, and then just seeing these models being shown off, at different conventions, just really got me, and I think a lot of people, excited about this toy. And you could finally see how big this really was going to be. And you get a sense of, there are the two runways and, little docking bays for different vehicles, and, which feels a lot like Thunderbirds, Thunderbird 2 with all the different vehicles that can move. So just really excited, put in the pre-order, and just waited for it to come. Now, I don't know a ton about Diaclones. I actually had a few Diaclones when I was a little kid, but I do know that the Great Robot Base was the largest and the most impressive of the entire original line, and that the rebooted toy definitely takes a lot of cues from the original design, as you can see when you look at pictures of what that original toy looked like. Now, because of the size of the new one, DA-95 is really just the waist down of the original robot. So they're going to be releasing DA-100, which is the upper body. So it's going to be pretty amazing and huge. All right, but enough talk all that. Let's get into the actual toy. So you can see it's a giant box. I got it from a Big Bad Toy Store, and it was a box in a box, so it came all packaged nicely. The box is just beautiful. It shows tons of the functions on the back. I only wish I could read Japanese so I could, really dive into everything, and really understand everything that's going on. I did use the translator in my phone to translate some of the words. So if you want to try that, it's a good little trick to kind of, be able to read the text and different names, the different functions of the different, different parts of the toy. So as you can see, it is gigantic. We're checking out the turrets. They're beautiful. They move really smooth, clean. Nothing is loose. Everything's kind of ratcheted or really tight. The side turrets are great. This thing just is armed to the teeth. The top kind of cockpit is great, how it pops off, and it becomes its own little spaceship. You can see the amazing detail inside. It feels like something from Star Trek Enterprise, this is the bridge, and you could really see where the commander would sit. There's these awesome little kind of turrets that pop off the side, kind of like AA guns or something like that, and just give you giving you tons of places to put all your little figures. Then there's a separate box with all the extra vehicles that come with it, which is amazing. So you've got two little planes, the wings fold up, and they fit into these like amazing elevator hangars that just pop them up onto the like the flight deck or the runway. And then you can see you just kind of push the turrets down and bend them back, and that makes the runway ready for the planes to take off. And then there's tons of seats for your crew, and like look at the detail. Like you can see the keys on the keyboard, just amazing, and really feels like they're operating this ship. And then those little kind of airplanes, you can put the figures in there. They each fit one figure. And there's a little detail of a figure. You can see it's nice that like if the heads or the arms pop off, they pop right back in. It's crazy the detail they get for such small figures compared to like a G.I. Joe or something. And then here's another feature, these awesome kind of like torpedo missiles that shoot out. This has definitely the same feels as like Battleship Yamato with its kind of like different torpedoes and things. And then the front of this kind of opens up, and another ship comes out the front, another flying ship. And then here on the front, underneath the runways, are two kind of stations where these drill vehicles can go, which really feel like the drill vehicle from Thunderbirds, if you're familiar with that, which is really neat. But and they've got like missile launchers built into them. It's just like amazing detail. And then this is the opposite side, the back, and you can fit two vehicles in there as well, which I think they just give you the one vehicle, but you have space for, you could put some of those like little Diaclone mech suits in there, and you really have lots of fun with that. And then on the sides, they've got these rotating missiles. It looks like those drunken missile launchers from an anime, and then these amazing elevator shots. Look at that! It's just like friction. Like you just kind of like, I guess there's like some kind of, spring-loaded action there. The doors open. Tell me this isn't like Thunderbirds, right? There's just so many features. And then you can lower this stairwell that goes down into the hangar where that one ship flies out the front. And there you can see like how it connects to the lower area. Like they didn't need to put that in there, but they just wanted it to really work. And then you could see the guys through the glass. They have magnetic kind of stickers that you put down, so you can see those dark areas. So they're like they must have metal in the sticker, and so the magnets in the feet of the figures like lock onto that. So you can see there I'm like shaking it, and like the guy, he won't fall down. So it's not like you have to worry about like foot pegs again, like a G.I. Joe or Star Wars figure. You just kind of like drop them on there, and they just stand in place. It's really great for posing them, and so neat. You can get like shots of that. This is the bridge kind of separated with the wings, angled out to put it in like the flying mode. And then you can see it just slides in there. The engineering's just so nice, and the tolerances are so great. Everything just fits together really well. And then you can see how this bridge just really feels like, like a battleship, like the way Yamato, the Argo really looks. And then nice little fold out kind of radars. You can extend the so that the angled elevator thing, you can twist that around to the front, and it becomes like this big kind of cannon, almost like the wave motion gun, from Battleship Yamato, but it's kind of like, feels like they're like super cannon. And then here's that ship that comes out the front. You can see, even though these are like little ships that just kind of come with the main toy, they're still like beautifully made, and you could sell these like as individual toys. Here's the little flyers, and they even add those little winglets that kind of pop out. Like they didn't have to do that, it's extra engineering and stuff, but it just makes the toy feel really good. And then this is that little ground car that goes in the back. It's got like all these little bits, the antenna, rocket launchers. And then, I think it could seat two figures in there, which is really nice. And then there's the drill vehicle, which kind of transforms a little bit, which is kind of neat. And it just looks like very functional design. It's like sci-fi, but it feels functional, and, just looks really great. And then here's just a shot of just the scale of it and how it really does feel like a base. Yeah, this toy is just like one of the top 5 toys I own probably. It's expensive, but it's beautifully made, and they just don't make toys like this very often. Just with that functionality, it feels like something from the 80s, or it's just fantastic toy, playable. And we found out that the Micro Series Star Wars ships, the characters from that, they're almost like 1/60th, like they match up perfectly. So there we got like Han and Chewie in the bridge of the DA-95 hanging out on the Millennium Falcon, and just so many possibilities for setting things up and playing with these. Just really fantastic. I think that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you really dug this toy. I think it's amazing. And I hope we'll see you in the next video.
The hot day.